Hey friends, Kevin Gehring here, your Sacramento, Stockton area real estate agent and lender, here with this week's weekly real estate report. So the news this week is really that there isn't a whole lot of news. It's a whole lot more of the same, but I do have something interesting here to point out for you. But let's talk about what we have right here on the chart real quick. So the amount of available homes, this green line right here, as you can see, it really has reached kind of the bottom, and it's sort of floundering around there down at the bottom. I'm hoping to see that start to come up here soon. Time will tell what's going to happen. Our amount of pending sales is doing the same thing. It's just kind of sitting there right around 5,200 is about the number of pending home sales each week that's reported. So that's about where we are right there. The amount of sold homes continues to stay between about the 700, 800 range, between 700 and 900. So right now for the past, let's say the last 3-4 weeks, everything is pretty much just holding what we got. It's just a little bit more of the same. The median home sales price is gone up and down a little bit, but we'll see again what happens next week. Remember that this data is a little bit delayed coming in, so would not surprise me to see that continue to go up a little bit. But here's something interesting that the chart isn't showing you, and let's talk about the average days on the market for a home. So the average combined days on the market. Now, combined days on the market means that if a house is listed by one agent and then that agent is then taken off that listing and a new agent comes in, or maybe even the same agent takes a listing and then pulls it off the market for a while, then brings it back on. If it's within a short enough period of time, it's going to show as a combined days on the market. So it gives a more true picture of what's happening with that house. Back in the old days, agents would actually have a house on the market for a couple of weeks, but didn't sell, pull it off for one day, put it back on, and it would reset the counter. Well, with the combined days, it doesn't do that. So having said that, the average combined days on the market for the available homes on the market, the green line, is 59 days. So that means that if you list your house, the average is about 30 days to sell, right? Okay, so let's take a look at 59 days. 59 days, the average is about 2 months on the market there for available homes. But let's take a look at the homes that have sold. The data for the homes that are sold, those homes that are selling actually have an average of only 30 days on the market. So it's kind of like the ones that don't sell, they just sit there. There's a lot of inventory just sitting there. It's overpriced, it's got problems, something's going on. The homes that are selling relatively quickly, so 30 days. But check this out, here's where it really gets interesting. That is the average combined days on the market. If I take a look at the median days on the market for sold, it goes from 30 days to only 8 days. So that is really quick. Now, this is definitely a seller's market, but you cannot have an overpriced home, and you cannot have a home with significant issues. Otherwise, it's a fixer and it's a whole other market. So I guess I tell you all that to say that, I know there's a lot of agents out there, and it's great when we get a listing and we can market it, and we get multiple offers on the first day. And what's the first thing you always hear? Wow, I sold this listing in only 3 days with multiple offers above the asking price. I need to pat myself on the back over here. Well, if we stop and think that through, what is that really saying? Now, if you had a really nice car, let's say you had, because I like cars, you had a Ferrari, and you listed your Ferrari on Craigslist for $1. Hey, guess what? You're going to sell it in one day for a lot more than the asking price. Let's say you double it, $2. Well, is that a deal? No, of course not. So I don't know. I guess I tell you this story to say that, it's still, even though it is a seller's market, it takes a good pricing strategy. It takes the strategy of fixing the house up, knowing where to put things, decluttering. So even though it is seemingly very easy to list and sell a house in this market, you still have to do it right to get top dollar. So I guess I tell you that to tell you that as a real estate agent, we're still out there working hard, still earning that money that we're working for. Just had a listing where my wife and I actually spent the entire 3-day weekend, over 8 hours a day, each of us, scrubbing this house from top to bottom, getting it ready to sell for my client. Hey, it's what we do, right? So let's talk about rates. rates. So Freddie Mac said rates went up just a little bit this week. They're reporting the average 30-year fixed rate at 2.9% with 0.8 of a point. That's up just a little tiny bit. I just priced out a loan, kind of the same scenario, purchase or refinance with 80% equity, credit score of 740 or better. And that came out at 2.634 with 1 point. That gives an APR of 2.762. Now, if you have more equity, you are definitely going to see a little bit better of a rate. So you can even see up to 0.5% better. So if you've got a lot of equity, you could be looking at rates down to 2.3 area for a 30-year fixed 1 point. So rates are still fantastic. Prices are still up. But remember, we are going to see that 0.5 point hit in refinances coming up in just a few weeks. So if you're still thinking about a refinance, you definitely want to get in and locked before those changes take place. That's it for this week. Hope you guys have a great rest of the week and a good weekend. Take care. Bye.